Hi guys, how you doing? It's Steve here, and I'm joined once again by my fellow Old Git, Lee Glasser. How you doing?
I'm Old Gittish. Thank you very much.
Old Gittish.
Yes,
Yeah. You've not
feeling
been
good.
very grumpy today. You've been quite.
No. I've just.
Why is it? Is it because it's Friday?
I think I'm finding humour in your very poor memory.
Okay. My poor memory. Okay, no worries. Anyway, today we are talking about back in the day, and we were chatting yesterday about recruitment and how difficult it is now. Not how difficult, but how intense it is for younger people going through the process of actually trying to get a job. Because, I mean, I remember when I first went for an interview, it was just, you went there, you sold yourself, you put a decent suit on, and you came out with a job. It's a little bit difficult, a little bit different now. Your son's just had a strange experience, hasn't it?
Well, it's a very different process to when we were involved. I was speaking to some friends, and it's kind of back in the day.
Back in the day.
We would look in the Evening Standard, for those of us that lived in London, on a Thursday or a Friday, check the back, check the job section,
Yeah.
see a job we liked. We would fax our CV. You may have to look that up. It might be
Fax.
Subtitles on here to know what a fax machine is.
We'll explain that at the end. What
We
a
would
fax is.
fax our CV to the company.
Yeah.
The company would actually make a phone call
No.
to us. I know.
No.
And we would pick it up without knowing the number.
Yeah.
We would pick it up and we would set up an appointment. We would go in for an interview, and there and then, 9 times out of 10, you would know whether you were hired or whether you weren't right for the job.
Yeah.
And you were able to sell yourself as a person, your personality. If perhaps your CV wasn't quite as full as the next person in the waiting room, you could sell yourself. You had the opportunity to show what you as a person.
I think certainly that within the sales environment, that was absolutely massive, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I don't think back in the day, I don't think my CV was particularly well put together. There wasn't you couldn't go online and get help. You couldn't
It wasn't online.
No, well, that's why you couldn't go online. But your mother and father weren't probably too adept at doing that sort of thing. So yeah, I seem to remember mine wasn't great. In fact, I actually wrote a letter. For my first proper sales job, I wrote a letter to the MD and basically said, give me a job. I'm better than those salespeople. I was only 18. I'm better than them salespeople you got in the showroom. Give me a job. And he did, and I was. And it was just, but now.
Well, it's crazy. Obviously, recruitment is so different. My daughter is in her 3rd year at university. She's applying for graduate jobs. She'll hate me for saying she's super bright. She's studying economics.
She is. I've met her. She is.
She's vivacious with her personality. She acts, she sings, she dances, and she would be an asset.
Gets out from her mother. Yeah.
Yeah,
absolutely.
very much so. The grumpiness for me.
Yeah.
But she would be an asset to any business. She's so thorough. She's so diligent. But the process to go through with you, first of all, you have to see the job that's advertised to 4 million people. Then you have to send your CV in online. Then you have to do online assessments where you rank your answers as to how you feel that now you're not sure. Do I rank it how I think the company think I should rank it, or do I rank them how I really feel? And neither way seems to work. Then if you manage to pass that, then you go through a series of cognitive tests.
Yeah.
And then you play games. There's like this one where you have to pump a balloon up, and then when you think just before it's going to burst, you bank the money, and it's just to see how risk adverse you are and stuff like that. And that keeps changing. And then you'll get, if you pass
who trains
that,
these things up?
it's mental. And then if you get that past that, you have an online interview, which actually isn't with a person. They ask you a question. You have 2 minutes to prepare your answer. You then press record, and then you talk to the camera as if they're the person. And then if you pass that, there's a possibility you might get through to an assessment day, which now have been moved from face-to-face to online. And I think that companies are missing out on gems. And I'm not just saying for my daughter. I know a lot of her friends of that age group Then, as you say, I look at my son who's applying to university, and there's this one particular course where you have to have assessment days and stuff like that. And again, there's just no personality. Are we just employing robots? Are these big companies, are they so scared to not make the wrong hire that they're allowing computers with algorithms to make these hires? So if something goes wrong, they go, it wasn't me.
Yeah, I think. Listen, I think the one thing for me, having dealt a little bit in recruitment in recent years, and coming across when you're dealing with an SME, or let's take as an example a decent sized estate agent, a multi-office estate agent.
Yeah.
You generally tend to deal with either the sales director, the ops director, or even the MD.
Sure.
Yeah, it's very personal. You can, once you start going into these, what I call the Americanized companies. So there's a few tech companies and that I've dealt with in the past, and they've hired people who have literally gone through university to be a recruitment specialist, right? And it's these people, I think, that have caused, and I don't know whether it's not a problem, is it? It's just different to what we're used to. But I think there's nothing personal about an interview anymore. There's no way you can go and actually talk to these people and express what sort of person you are, what you could do for it, until you've literally gone through 10, 12, 13 hoops. And to me, that's wrong. That's that. And maybe we've done a podcast in the past about change, and maybe I'm not, maybe I'm guilty of not changing, but I agree with you. I just think there's such a waste. And is it too difficult? We look at the employment rates. Is it too difficult for people to get jobs these days?
I think it is. I think it's really difficult, but I think that using AI has you lose the personal touch, and no matter how much you can make AI as human as possible, it misses out. And guess what? People are able to make a mistake. Are able to make mistakes in an interview. You might say the wrong thing, but then you've got the opportunity to pull it back.
Yeah.
Here, you've got no opportunity for failure. Yet, so many people, so many of these big hires are actually wrong. And I just feel that we've got to give these kids a chance.
Is it costing more money, do you think? Because don't forget, once you hire somebody, and if a year down the road you've got to let them go and rehire, is it less cost effective doing it this way?
It's a very good point. A friend of mine who's a partner in a top 10 firm of accountants said that there was an underperforming member of staff, but it was actually they would have to give a 13% pay increase to the person should they replace that person, and so they thought they might as well just leave them in place and try and train them as best as they can. So they've now got somebody who is not able to do their job, but because it's so much aggravation finding somebody else, and they're going to have to pay more money, they'll just leave them there.
They're just stuck with them. Yeah.
So it's kind of I just think that AI has a place, but in this particular instance, nothing
was taken away the personalisation.
That personalisation of meeting somebody face to face and building a relationship.
Yeah.
It might be that you can't build the relationship and it's not a good suit.
No.
But you have to jump through weeks or months worth of hoops to actually find out if you want to join them. Not so much just that does the company want you.
Yeah.
You don't actually know because you've not met anyone.
Yeah.
If you want to be with them.
True. Good. It's interesting. What are your views? Let us know. Give us a comment on this. Let us know what you think, because certainly I feel, and we both feel, as you've gathered from the last few minutes, that there's a lot of great people out there who are looking for jobs, who need an opportunity to sit in front of people and actually sell themselves, and give you the opportunity as business owners to actually take these people on. Lee, thanks again as always. Cheers. Until next week, 2 Old Gits having a moan again. We'll be back soon. Cheers.
See ya.